wrestling fans, and we are the degenerates that want to talk about it. This is Kicking At It Too. I am Michael. With me, as always, is Tori. Hey, Tori.
Hello.
Tonight we are going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Pretty decent episode from Alabama. Can't really complain too much. Got some movement forward in some stories that I really like. Before we get too far into it, we weren't going to do a whole news episode on this, but we all saw that Twitter blew up about the Saudi Arabia possibly
Keep going.
buyout.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Um, Reports from Fightful Select, from Sean Ross Sapp, all through the night last night, saying that it was rumors, it was speculation, there was no validation to what it was. His particular people that he talks to, his informants, were kind of higher level than the ones he was hearing had confirmed that the sale had happened, and they had no clue about a sale. They had not heard anything about it. So if it was something that was on the plate, it was something that they didn't know anything about. Um, it seems to be all that's fallen to the wayside, so that's good. I kind of hate that much fervor and that much hate happened because of one random tweet from a guy saying that he's confirmed it. Because it was just one dude had said he confirmed that happened, and then that threw into like a 12-hour tailspin of this might have happened. So it's good to see it didn't happen. There was a lot of reports from Sean as well, stating that if the sale had happened, if that was a thing that was going to happen, that there was a good amount of people high up the creative chain there that would have walked out, and I don't blame them. Despite that, the particular group over in Saudi that was looking to buy it, if it was all coming out true, had bought a soccer team, had bought a couple of other things, and has supposedly stayed out of it. It's still not good optics that a female CEO steps down and then a possible sale to Saudi happens right after. So glad to see it's not happening, but we're going to continue to watch Raw and enjoy it as long as we can. Hopefully, that wasn't just a feeler for them to see how we feel about it, and it comes back. Hopefully, it just stays away, and we end up hearing about a sale to somebody else. So, um, so fast approaching is Royal Rumble. We get quite a few little steps forward in that. We start the night though with Kevin Owens versus Baron Corbin. JBL still with Baron Corbin. Kevin Owens comes out at the top of the show and began to talk about how he's going to face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. But he's interrupted by JBL almost immediately. JBL's doing his normal shtick of snowflake commentary, talking about how he and Baron Corbin are wrestling gods and so on and so forth. Fun little point of that is meme heavy himself. Kevin Owens goes and puts his head on the turnbuckle, acts like he's taking a little nap while JBL's talking. They look at him and says, "Hey, are you in a food coma or something? What's going on?" He just turns around and goes, "I'm sorry, I was in a JBL and Baron Corbin were talking about nothing coma, so I missed everything you said."
Okay, so I missed the first part of the show. That's funny.
Yeah, so absolutely fun stuff. Uh, it kind of makes me sad. I think Baron Corbin is a vastly talented individual, and I think he's kind of handcuffed because of this gimmick and because of him being stuck with JBL. So him being torn apart, while funny to me, is also kind of sad because I do kind of wish he was, getting a little bit better than just being talked about by Kevin Owens.
I'm just not. Since he went away from the lone wolf gimmick, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
When he just came out and beat people up, I was good with it. But all this other crap they're doing with him is stupid.
See, I don't know. Like, I enjoyed Constable Corbin. I enjoyed the Fridays waiter outfit era. When we got to bum ass Corbin, at that point, I kind of was losing interest. But my point of him is, I think he can carry stuff on his own. Like, I enjoyed
Right.
Constable Corbin just because of who he was. He was up there and he's
Yeah.
being a dick, and he's able to carry the mic on his own. And now you got JBL talking for him. He's fine talking on his own. I don't think he needs that. All
Right.
this is
And that's
doing is
part of what I don't get. If you're going to bring Joey L in, put him with somebody that needs a talker.
right. Um, So the match itself, I mean, we all kind of knew where that was going to happen. You got Kevin Owens that's going to be facing Roman Reigns. There's no way he's losing to Baron Corbin.
There's not a chance in hell he was losing that.
Yeah, so he gets off the stunner, but then he is sidelined by the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Um, as they're all beating him down, fighting him off, Adam Pearce comes down, ranting and raving. Not again. You guys are doing this again. It's been week after week. Get out of here. Stop doing this. Get out. Um, Interestingly enough, they get a little bit of payback from Adam Pearce a little bit later in a backstage segment we'll talk about in a minute. Um, it's one little thing that was said during JBL's promo I really kind of enjoyed. He did mention that Corbin was the only person to win a pinfall victory over Roman Reigns in the last 3 years. So that's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it was during the dog food era when they were pouring dog food on each other. Um, I mean, fun little tidbit to throw in there. Again, it makes me sad that Corbin's where he is right now because I'm like,
Right.
you just mentioned that he beat the baddest man on the planet right now,
And this is where we are.
and yeah, we're doing this. We then get Bailey versus Mia Yim. They're really pushing the Michin thing because it was the only thing on her placard this time. I mean, I get it was her idea. I get that she likes the nickname, but I mean, if we're still going to call her Mia Yim Michin, then have the whole thing on the placard. Don't just say Michin on the placard.
Yeah, and this match in general it was okay.
It was. I think it did what it was supposed to do. I mean, Bailey has been eating loss after loss lately.
That's true.
So her to go in here and get a pretty definitive, even though it's a tricky, cheap win, pretty
Right.
definitive win on Mia Yim. Basically, she gets it by doing a pin and having her feet up on the second ropes. So getting that little extra bit of advantage. Pins her. The fun part of this was beforehand because anytime that Bailey's on the mic, I enjoy it. And she gets on there and she's talking crap to Becky about how scared she is, and that's the reason she's not there. And she doesn't have any friends except for maybe her, talking about Mia Yim. Like, I'm
And
going to beat
even
the only.
that, she's not really afraid. And then she
Yeah.
talked shit to her the whole match too.
Yeah. And so she says that this is going to be so easy, she's going to let the other girls have the night off. So she's like, go back there, have fun, relax, party.
See, and I think that was a good move because
Mhm.
how many of Bailey's wins have been because of them,
Right.
whereas this was pretty much on her own.
Yeah, she got to go out there and actually do it on her own, which was
Yeah,
a very nice touch. Very nice to have her get her own win.
keep going.
Okay. After this match, Alexa Bliss hops up on the announce table, does a nice little promo about being the face of evil and how now she's in charge. Uncle Howdy, then you hear his voice kind of coming on this over the thing. The Bray Wyatt promo image, beep 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 beep, and comes on. And then we get a little video of an empty playground, kind of referencing old, playhouse. You get a little bit of creepy Alexa images, her from WrestleMania with the creepy black gimmick and some Lily stuff, kind of tripping down through there. And then you get Uncle Howdy saying, "So you think you're in charge, do you?" And then
Yeah, Bo Dallas showing up was nice.
it was nice. The production on this, I think, is a little hokey. Like, have
The
him
problem,
come out there, have the lights go out, have it go to commercial. Him sitting out there and mimicking the laugh, that's a little hokey for me.
well, and the problem is they've leaned so heavy into this with Bray
Mm-hmm.
that you're kind of stuck.
Right.
Now, if we took him back to the Wyatt family,
Mm-hmm.
that would, to me, would be a better option.
Okay.
Just because that was he had the control, but it wasn't the mystical. It wasn't any of that. It was just the control.
Right. And we may be going that way. Like, because we haven't seen really spooky projecting maggots on the floor stuff.
Right.
Um, we'll kind of have to wait and see, excuse me, with this Mountain Dew pitch black match
I
going on. We'll have to wait and see. Like, is there going to be spooky stuff in that, or is it just going to be Bray and him fighting? Um, hopefully, it's just them fighting. I don't want to see any more spooky.
right. I'm wondering. I don't think. I mean, they may do it as a cinematic,
Mm-hmm.
which okay. I mean, to an extent, doing it with the primary amount of the lights out and some spotlights, and then the fireflies would be interesting.
Yeah,
Because when the fireflies are all lit up, it lights up the whole ring.
yeah. He
So,
he's definitely one of the most popular things going in wrestling.
100%.
Um, uh, currently, I'm not fatigued, but I think we kind of need to get this moving.
I agree.
Um,
They're
because
dragging a little too much. Now, if you're gonna mix Alexa in, that's fine.
Mhm.
But let's kick that bitch in cycle. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's even the case. Like, one of the two stories needs to get in gear, whether it's
Yeah,
the part with Alexa or the part with Bray. If you want Bray to hang out there for a little while and lose control because he doesn't have control of what's going on, okay. But then we need to move on the Alexa thing to
yeah.
keep us interested in what's going on.
I
Um,
wonder if Alexa's gonna get involved at Rumble, which would be interesting.
it would be, um, like maybe she comes out in one of the old gears, acting creepy
Yeah,
again, and then
yeah.
next day she's just back to who she was again. Um,
I I I do like the whole thing with the symbol flash on the screen and her. I just like, to me, it's one of those things that it's different,
mhm.
and the her fighting for control and so on, it makes it more interesting for that direction.
Right. Well, and it keeps it so like I say I don't want the creepy anymore, the spooky stuff. You could do this without that. Like this is literally like she was mind controlled, which a normal like well not
Yeah,
normal, an abnormal person can do that, but like you can really screw up someone's mind and
yeah.
make them think your way. And so this is something that could be normal and I'm fine with that. Let's keep it that way.
Right,
Let's not make it
right.
like
I got you.
don't have
No,
goo reaching from her scalp again or anything like that. Like I don't need any of that stuff.
right. Or the thing with the ref coughing. I just stop it.
The ref coughing up the stuff. Yeah.
Stop it.
Um.
I just, yeah, I'm kind of with you. We need to push forward.
Yeah.
Let's move
Let's see some
on
movement.
that.
Speaking of movement, I was just mentioning the other day that I missed Nikki Cross, and then she shows up again. We get a little.
I Look, this is part of why I'm concerned about the Vince takeover,
Mm,
because this whole thing is greatness.
it is. Before we get there, though, Johnny Gargano, we did a little snippet of him. He talks about how he had a little injury. Um, mentioned that he should be back by Rumble, but
Good.
apparently back in December he had did something to his shoulder, and that's
Okay.
why we
And that's why
haven't
they
seen him
had
there.
him doing all the stuff with Dexter and Miz
Right.
that he wasn't in. Okay.
So good to see that he's on the mend. Good to see
Yes.
that he should be back by WrestleMania by Royal Rumble, excuse me. Because definitely seeing him in the Rumble will be fun. Especially if we can get a couple other pieces in there. If we can get Dexter in
Oh,
there. If we can get maybe
Miz,
Champa back, I don't know.
Ciampa. I bet
But
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ciampa return.
yeah, well, he was down for surgery, so I don't know
Oh,
if he
that's right.
can come back yet. If he can, though, that'd be awesome to see them, meet up in the ring at some point and get a little DIY reunion, or a DIY implosion, one of the two. Either way, I don't
See,
care.
I think at this point, because of everything they did with Ciampa when Johnny before Johnny left,
Hmm.
and Johnny's last match in NXT, and Ciampa came out. Put them back together.
Yeah,
DIY was a great tag team.
it
With
was.
the division being what it is, like them and the Street Profits would be great. Them and the Usos would be good.
Hmm.
Like there's a ton of different teams that would be really good with DIY.
Right. It certainly would be. But so then right after that, we lead into an interview with Candice LeRae. Just kind of her talking about how she's back and she's trying to come back with fervor and trying to be as strong as she was before. And then lo and behold, Rhea Ripley comes around the corner because she's like, "Hey, I was over here checking on Dom Dom and getting him ready for his interview with Miz later, and I heard you running your mouth." Um, so
This
again,
is right up there with AEW passing in the hall. Let's
yeah,
make a match.
it's a
Like,
rampage special. Hey, I heard you talking. We should fight.
here's the other thing: does anybody actually believe Candice is winning this?
No,
With where the Judgment Day is and
yeah.
everything they're doing with Rhea, there's not a fucking chance that Candice is winning this match.
Here's the thing with Rhea. Rhea is possibly, aside from the bloodline situation, the most over thing in the company right now.
100%.
Um,
I agree
on
completely.
on top of that, in my mind, there's no way she doesn't win the Rumble this year. Like, there's no
Yeah,
way.
that's fair.
Um,
Goes after the Raw title.
yeah,
So the question is, so whoever if Bianca has a match at Rumble, she's not losing that title.
it depends on who it's with. If you could get another face in there, because we can do a face program and I'd be fine
Yeah,
with it.
that's true.
But yeah, I mean, who if it's a face heel, then yeah, we're probably not going to get unless they turn Judgment Day, which that's a talk for later in this episode.
Right, I have a couple thoughts on that, but it's possible we could get Bianca Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa wins, and we're back to Alexa Rhea,
Mm-hmm.
which they never really finished.
No, they didn't. So she basically says that the only thing that's going to happen with her is she's going to rip her pixie wings off, and it's going to be a nice little present for Dom Dom's return that Mommy beats the pixie. So they have a match, and lo and behold, Rhea Ripley wins it. Riptide ball game. She doesn't pin her as she normally does with other people, and that made me a little sad. So don't not give me what I want.
Right.
We get an Austin Theory little interview. He comes out and he's basically just talking about how Seth's not here. Seth's ducking me. Seth's knee couldn't hold up the weight of someone as good as me. And then Seth comes out and he's on crutches. But then he tosses one of the crutches and then plays air guitar with the other, and then gets in the ring. And another meme-worthy picture, him just leaned on the crutch with the sunglasses on, like he just got his eyes dilated or something. Those glasses were
Those did look like
insane.
some old people sunglasses.
But so he basically says, like, no, you're right. Like my knee's not ready, but it will be ready by Royal Rumble. It will be ready for me to win the Royal Rumble. It'll be ready for me to main event WrestleMania. I just came out here because I want to see you lovely people here in Birmingham to sing my song. And then song happens. He ducks out. And then Bobby Lashley comes down the ramp. Seth standing there. I felt like he should have probably been a little more afraid about what's going on, because the last time Bobby was there, he was just beating the shit out of everybody. But Seth is Seth.
I don't know, because I feel like what Seth said is kind of, I'm going to take myself out of the U.S. title picture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't feel like Seth needed to be as concerned because of that. That's why he was like, oh, okay, somebody else to beat up Austin Theory. Cool.
Yeah. But so as Bobby's coming down, you hear Austin, like, don't come in here. Don't come in here. You don't want to come in here. Like, just bad-mouthing Bobby. Bobby comes in and spears the hell out of Austin Theory. Austin rolls out. Apparently, Bobby Lashley is officially back. And then we have more on that a little bit later. So the Usos are trying to leave the arena backstage. So them and Sikoa are trying to leave. Adam Pearce forcing them out. You know, you guys got to go. You come here every week. You tear up my sets. You tear up my roster. You need to leave. But before you leave, just so you know, I have got a tag team turmoil match going on later. and the winner of that is going to face you, and this is what I found interesting, for the Raw tag team titles.
Oh, they said the Raw titles?
Yeah, he said specifically the Raw titles.
That's how they're gonna do it.
So
This is how they're gonna do it.
we split those off and call it a day.
Well, and if they split those off, in theory, they shouldn't be showing up on Raw anymore.
Right. So
So
they say, well, that's fine. They start to leave, and he goes, whoa, 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 Sikoa, stay here
right,
because you have a match with Dolph Ziggler. So separates them out. They have to leave. He comes back. They don't leave. We find that out
right.
later. But
Which things like that frustrate me. I get that they're the heels and they don't do what they're told, but the whole point was we're throwing you out of the building for how you're behaving,
mm-hmm.
and it just I feel like those are the little things to me that should stick.
Yeah. They should have had all the security, get them out of there, make sure they leave. They shouldn't have come back. I
Right.
get the image. I get the image of coming back later for who won the match. But
100%. But I just don't. To me, it doesn't feel like those things are important in any way,
mm-hmm.
and so it's hard to take them seriously.
So I think that could have been rewritten. We'll get there when we talk about the turmoil match, but I think that could have been rewritten a little bit and made a little bit better.
Yeah.
But so that leads us though to Sikoa versus Dolph Ziggler. Sikoa won. I mean, I love Ziggler, but he's Dolph Ziggler.
Hold this.
Yeah.
You're here, hold this. That's who he is now.
Yeah.
It was a wrestler to not be named before. It was Edge next, and now it's Dolph's turn. Here, hold this.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
They are teasing a little thing with him and Ali, which I found kind of fun. Because apparently him and Ali were supposed to be in the tag team turmoil match later. Because
Dolph wants Sikoa.
Yeah, because the whole point of the members of that turmoil match are the people that have been screwed over by the bloodline. So
then how did the Judgment Day end up in it?
They got beat down.
When?
It was, I want to say
it had to have been early on.
Yeah, I want to say it was like the first time they took over Raw and came and destructed everything. And like it was literally just a real quick, they beat them down and they ran off, and so it wasn't big, but yeah, so apparently Mustafa's a little irritated, a little pissed off because he could have had an opportunity at the tag titles. Dolph took that opportunity away. Hopefully that puts them in an actual program. I want to see Ali actually do something.
Ali and Dolph would be some good matches too.
It would be absolutely be some good matches, and it would elevate Ali for sure.
Absolutely.
Ziggler, he's one of those that if they really wanted to, they could flip the switch on him any minute, and he becomes a contender. So it definitely would.
Whether
I
it's
think
world title, U.S. title, Intercontinental title,
yeah,
with a tag partner,
yeah. So yeah, Sikoa wins that one. That leads us to the tag team turmoil match, but before that, we get an episode of Miz TV with Jailhouse Dom.
With Conan Dom.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught that. So there was a member on our Facebook group who Tori, which is one of my best friends. I've known him actually even longer than I've known Tori. We ran together in high school, and he had mentioned like how much he didn't like this, and he was just. But how my retort to that is, I like the way that they're kind of pulling this, because I'm looking at this as he gets in and he's trying to be Ray, and then he turns on Ray and he's kind of trying to be Eddie. And now he's wearing the flannel with the one button, and he's got the bandit. Like, he's Conan. He's Uncle Conan at this point. Like, he's just slowly going through everybody that his dad has wrestled.
It's so stupid, but it's entertaining as hell.
It is. And it's just little things. It's like, on the announce team,
oh my God.
The lead announcer asking, Does he have a teardrop tattoo above his eyebrow? And Corey going back to him, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. Like making him sound like he's the most badass dude on the planet.
The fact, and I know we're going to get to the tag team turmoil match, but the fact that they kept Corey was making it sound like Dom had done 20 years.
Yeah.
Kevin Patrick's like, he was there a couple of hours. Like,
Yeah.
he was eating gruel sandwich. Stop it, Corey.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane.
It was hilarious. It's ridiculous, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, him with some of the stuff he popped off about, like, I now know how Martha Stewart feels. What? What the shit are you talking about?
This is what I'm saying. It was just so bad.
Yeah. But so that that interview leads us to the actual turmoil match. So it starts off with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They start off against Carl Anderson and Gallows in the first bout. They win that match. Dom helped them to steal that win by tripping Anderson, so Balor could roll him up. So we get that one. And then we get the duo of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, which, to backtrack a little bit, we had a fun little backstage segment with Bobby Lashley. He was having an interview. Yeah, he was having an interview with Byron. And MVP just kind of walks in and goes, Byron, you need to take a walk. Me and him got some business we need to talk about. He puts his
They're going to put them back together.
Yeah, he puts his hand out. Bobby doesn't shake his hand. He says, look, like, I know I've had some faults. I know that I've done some things against you, but we've always been best together. So I've already talked to Shelton and Cedric. They've agreed on the mistakes they've made. I agree on the mistakes I've made. Like, let's get this back together. Bobby basically says the fact that I haven't beat you down on site means
the fact that it wasn't on site,
means that maybe, but not right now. And so that just to me feels like the Hurt Business is going to help him at some point win that U.S. title back. And then
see, that's what I was about to say. If he has a match at Rumble with Austin, I think MVP comes out and helps him win it.
Yeah.
Or is out there just
support
to help him support, whatever you want to call it.
Well, but I even mentioned, like, to me, having Omos as a silent heavy behind him would be kind of fun. Even if he just sends Omos out there and Omos, like, distracts Austin to get him the win.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Omos doesn't fit with the group just in terms of their abilities, what they can do, so on.
I don't disagree. I will say I have seen him off camera with, like, up, down, down, and stuff like that.
He's entertaining as hell.
He's entertaining. If they would let him just kind of go and let him be him, I think he'd fit in fine. Yeah, his in-ring ability is not as good, but he's 7 foot freaking tall.
Right.
He can go in there and choke slam some people, and that's all that matters.
It's the kind of thing that you see that stuff like on up, down, down.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Roman before they took the handcuffs off. I know. Let the man go out there and be himself. You can still be Big Angry Giant and be able to carry a promo and.
Well, I mean, look at the Big Show. Like, and Big Show's in-ring ability was a lot better than what Omos's is.
I agree.
But he was never more entertaining when they just let him go out there and just be him.
The other side of it is Big Show started in his 20s.
Yeah.
How old's Omos? I mean, he's probably in his 30s, 35 maybe, something like that. So I don't know at what point they go, hey, we're just going to let you do your thing.
Yeah. All right.
Keep going.
Okay. So get Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin coming into it. Unfortunately, they put up a decent fight, but they were eventually eliminated. I do wish with the Hurt Business tease at the earlier end of the night that they would have lasted a little longer in this. Maybe have them start off with Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and beat them, and then they get beat by Judgment Day. But is what it is. Chad Gable and Otis were up next, and they were taking on then at that point still Balor and Priest. this was a pretty fun little thing. It was the first time in a long time that we got to see Chad and Otis kind of playing as babyface. Uh, they weren't really being as obnoxious heel as they normally have been. Maybe that's a tease for the future for them because we got to see the Caterpillar again. We got kind of a little bit of oh yeah Otis back. That was kind of fun. Unfortunately, though, they still got it. Finn ended up rolling out of the ring after this match, though, because he was squashed by Otis, and so he's being looked at by the ringside doctors. Pierce is coming down and trying to tell him that Judgment Day needs to forfeit because Finn can't continue. However, they said Dom should take his place. Everybody agreed. Priest agreed, and so it was Priest and Dom going forward now. Nice little bit of storytelling there just to say, here's a reason to get a fresh guy in. And then that way it's a little more believable if they go further. So their match continues with Street Profits. Street Profits looking amazing. Interesting little thing that I saw is Ford did a 450 instead of doing the frog splash as normal. It was kicked out of, which I'm not mad that it was kicked out of. It was weird that he did a 450 instead of the splash. So they end up though getting to a chance where they end up winning with a little help from the ropes. Dom was able to score a pin on Ford to win the match. So again, nice little touch that Dom is the one that won the match, even though it was by a little bit of cheating means. And so they get the next shot at the tag team titles. They walk down the ramp, and then they're met by who was supposed to leave, the Usos. So they get a nice little stare down, kind of getting that ready. To me, Judgment Day is it's hard to tell because Usos have been kind of being cheered a lot more, especially with Jay being on Sammy's side and all that stuff. So do we get kind of Usos being the faces of this, even though it's kind of a punishment for them and they're being made to put up their Raw titles because of the stuff they've been doing, or because of Judgment Day being kind of popular and you get the funny Dom stuff and you've got Rhea being one of the most popular things in the business right now. Do we have them playing face? Either way can really happen. So it'll be interesting to see how we do it. It's just it's to me it's odd that this was the choice. That's the only thing that was kind of odd to me. With everybody else in the ring,
And I agree.
Rhea's popular. Judgment Day to me is not as popular.
But I was watching this whole thing. I think they're going to turn on Finn, and Dom's going to be in charge. Basically, he's going to be running things. Look at how they have been treating him. Like he is
Interesting.
a big deal. And then when he was out at ringside, he's like, "No, I'm not doing that." Like, I'm sorry, if you're not running things, then you don't have a choice, bitch.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think either they split them up or Dom convinces Rhea and Damien to turn on Finn because he's hurt, he's cost them wins, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised by it.
I like it. That could be interesting. Um, One little fun thing, and it's just because I'm a homer for Otis. I always have been. We did get a "We Want Otis" chant while Chad was in the ring. So kind of fun that the fans still want to see Otis be Otis. Um, I don't know if you heard me talking about them and their little stint while you're away.
Yeah.
I think them turning face would be kind of fun. They're just kind of a silly team, and if he was literally, they don't have to change anything. He just shushes heels instead of faces.
Yeah, but I don't know. First of all, I think we have too many face tag teams as it is.
I don't disagree with that either.
So yeah, I definitely was surprised the Judgment Day won that. To me, the Street Profits made more sense.
Hmm.
Them beating the Usos isn't doesn't hurt.
So I I definitely agree. I think the Street Profits make more sense. However, the look of the Street Profits after the loss to me told a story.
And see,
They
and I'm
are
wondering,
pissed.
right? And I'm wondering if they don't kind of move them to a kind of a tweener role
Hmm.
where they're just beating up everybody, no matter who it is. Um,
Well, and to that point, let's say we have that match next week, and Street Profits interfere with it, beating down both teams.
yeah,
And now Pierce makes it a three-way dance for the week after, or for the Rumble, or wherever.
they come out and take out Solo, or they take him out before,
Hmm.
and then come out and just go to town on both teams
Yeah,
with a chair, whatever. Um, yeah, no, I think it would give them a good edge.
I think it would too. To me, it's a lot like the Hit Row situation. Like they need something.
Yeah,
They're
I
kind of
agree.
spinning their wheels with what they're doing. That would be a nice little edge for them.
And I
Um,
feel like they're both in terms of shape and ability. They're both at the top of the game right now. I mean, they're
Absolutely.
both just putting in the work. You can see it.
Yeah, and so like Montez, that's you don't need to say that for him. He has literally like he has always been in
Right.
phenomenal shape. He's always been
Yeah.
out there just killing it. He has definitely gotten a bit thicker, in a good way,
He's
over the
added
last
muscle. You can
yeah
see the muscle mass.
over the last year. He's definitely been building up some more. However, as a fluffy guy myself, I have all the credit in the world for Dawson because Dawson's out there now with
Dawkins.
his shirt off too, not
Yeah.
giving a shit. Uh,
Yeah. Angelo Dawkins has put in the work. He is. I've been real impressed with him. The little bit that
Absolutely.
he's done singles, I wouldn't mind seeing them both going after singles titles to see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely at some point. Like, here's the thing: like, as they are right now, it's definitely a 1A 1B. Montez at some point is going to go for the WWE title, or the Universal title, whichever one is free at the moment. Um, Dawkins definitely like I see him IC champ, US champ at some point, uh, without question. He
I
could
agree.
carry that. He could run it. It wouldn't be a problem at all.
I agree.
Uh,
And he can get in there with anybody. He can
yeah,
get in there with smaller guys and make it look good.
yeah.
And he can get in there with big guys and
Well, and he can.
tacticians and brawl. I mean,
Yeah, he does some stuff that dude his size shouldn't be able to do as far as his height. Like he did that plancha, not a plancha. Sorry, he did a rolling senton out of the ring,
yeah.
uh, on Monday, and like just looked flawless doing it. Landed on his feet, just stood there, had no problem at all. Like
Yeah,
he
no,
is definitely talented.
I really like what I've seen from them and I hope we just keep getting more.
Absolutely. Um, so overall, like I'd say, about a B night.
It was a good show,
Like
but it wasn't
yeah,
anything special.
it wasn't great. I'm a big fan. Like to me, what put it over the top was the turmoil match. I'm always gauntlets, tournaments, anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm down for. Especially like so. One of the latest rumors I've heard is that at Money in the Bank, not only are we going to have Money in the Bank, we're also going to have the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring on the same night. And so,
Holy shit.
Jesus. So you're going to give me a Money in the Bank match and two tournaments? Ah, okay. I'm done. I'll watch that for
Well,
5 hours. Maybe we have the tournament before then, and we just have
I was gonna say, I'm
the
sure that has
blocks.
something to do like the semifinals, have a
Yeah,
Money in the Bank match, do the women's semifinals, have a Money in the Bank match, and then do the finals or something.
maybe,
Like mix it in there.
but
Um,
still, like crowning those three things on the same night, like I'm good with it. That's overload, and
I agree. Yeah, no, I'm here for it.
but definitely a good night. Like the only thing we were talking about like things that we book a little differently. The Usos, since they were supposed to leave, I would have much rathered that They left, but they didn't leave the parking lot. And so
Right.
we've got Finn, and he's hurt, and they're trying to get him out there so they can go get him looked at. And then they meet them in the parking lot. To me, like you get the same look of like, all right, we see you, and we're gonna take you out, uh, or even just have them jump him in the back. Like start that
Yeah.
now, and just
Yeah.
have them and Solo, take him out right there. And then you got Rhea, standing there going like, shit, all my guys just got beat.
Yeah. I definitely, and it's one of those things that if you're going to have Rhea there, this is where either if she's coming back, bringing Trinity, Naomi, whatever you want to call her back,
Mm-hmm.
or use Tamina.
Yep.
If we do a Judgment Day Usos thing and Rhea starts getting involved,
You got to have someone there.
why, if she's healthy, why not run Tamina out there?
Mm-hmm.
Or if she's healthy and back with the company, bring Naomi back.
Yeah. Well, and like Tamina to me is like it's a sad situation with her. She has not had a match. I was looking this the other day. If I remember, if I read it correctly, since the tag team tournament for the women's title, that's the last match she had, and so we haven't seen her since. Um, she's so talented in the
I
ring,
right.
and
I
she's
really
entertaining
struggle
otherwise.
100%. And all the stuff she was doing with the 24/7 title was
Mm-hmm.
great. I don't understand not having creative for people. I don't understand it. I understand you have a limited show, and I get that.
Yeah.
But as much as they do with online stuff, start doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
Start building her back up. Show her interacting with the Usos and the Bloodline, or interacting with some of the female, whatever you're going to do with them. And not just her. You have unlimited time, really, to do stuff online.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
are we not making more of this?
let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Thanks for spending your time with us. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share this episode, share our channel, hit us up on all the socials. Thank you for all the people that are looking at our TikTok. That's been blowing up a lot more than I expected it to. So thank you for that. We have officially, if I saw the numbers, we have more subscribers on TikTok than we do on YouTube now. So
Seriously.
people seem to like our stupid little games. If you want to see the rest of our back catalog, if you want to learn more about us, get us right here on youtube.com at Kicking Attitude. Until next time, I'm Michael. This is Tori, and we'll see you on the next one.